All right. I would like to welcome everyone to the show today. And of course, because it is our holiday show, it looks like Nick has decided just not to show up tonight. It doesn't surprise me here, audience, that Nick decided not to show up for our holiday extravaganza tonight. Although, if you've seen this show before, you know that every day is a holiday on this show, right? And so now I will say that Nick has been slacking in more than one area because I broke my phone this weekend. Oh, you know what, Rachel? I will say this hoodie, I I will say from one basketball fan to another that I got this hoodie in Seoul at the Myeongdong night market. And this was the night that well, of course, if you've been to the market, you know that you need to pretty much pay cash for everything. And so I needed to go to the ATM. And then, well, long and behold, Angela and I, and if you've seen the show before, you've seen Angela on the show, but Angela and I walked all over the market looking for an ATM, and then it ended up being right across the street where we had dinner from. So what a time to be alive is all I can say.
Yes, yes. John, what's with the sunglasses tonight?
But these are not sunglasses. But
What are they?
I will say that if you can see this, then it has the Pistons logo on it, and so since I'm a big Pistons fan, it was an automatic buy for me. So there you go. That's the story of how I got it.
What's the glasses?
Well, these are blue light filter glasses, Nick. Have you
Yes, okay.
heard of
That makes more
anything like
sense
that
now.
before? I mean, I'm colorblind, and I've even heard of them, Nick.
So what do they do?
Well, they filter out blue light so that the the white light and all the other lights during the day are not as harsh on your eyes.
Okay. All right.
But
Does
now
it help when you're looking at a computer screen too?
well, yes, that's the whole idea, Nick. Although
Okay.
I'll also say that I have the blue light filter and eye comfort settings turned on both of my monitors.
Oh, good.
But because of the amount of time I've been on the computer this week, I will say that the struggle has been real.
Well, when is it ever not though?
Exactly, Nick. Now you're starting to get with the program.
Yeah, it's always real. It's always a time to be alive.
Oh, yes, it truly is, Nick. What a time to be alive. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Good, I'm glad.
Yes, and so all I will say is that, you know what, Nick?
Yes.
It is one of these things that all I will say is that this weekend, when I lost my phone, I was at the Mannheim Steamroller concert. And
I thought I read that you didn't lose it, you dropped it.
well, I lost my phone to a drop.
Oh, so you have the phone, but the phone is not functional.
No, I won't say that either. It depends on what you consider functional, because I can get the phone to turn on.
Oh, so
I
you have
can,
the phone.
yes, and
Okay.
I will say that I can get the phone to recognize my face and my fingerprint to unlock it.
So if I remember reading your caption correctly, it dropped from quite a height.
20-foot drop, yes.
Where were you that it fell that far?
Well, I was at the concert, Nick.
But like I know that, but like where within the venue were you that there would have been a 20
Oh
foot
boy.
drop?
Well, okay. So where would you think outside the box, Nick? Where in a concert venue would have a 20-foot drop?
I'm assuming that you were on the one of the upper decks of whatever this venue
Oh,
was,
so no,
and you were
no, Nick. I'm not that cheap to get the nosebleed seats. So
okay.
I will
So
say that
explain.
I
Wait, John. Was it a sheer fall of 20 feet, or did it like have
yes.
bumps along? Okay, so it
So
was a dead drop of 20 feet.
yes, and so I will say that I sat in the orchestra pit in the first row in front of the stage, and the venue neglected to have a net. And
Wow, the
so
orchestra pit was 20 feet, or the floor of the orchestra pit was
yes,
20 feet below the first row.
and so
Wow.
well, and so well, the first row, the orchestra pit. So there was a stage, and then the orchestra pit, and then the an aisle in front of the actual first row. And so I was sitting in a big velvet red chair on the in the orchestra pit.
So okay. Oh, so you were in the orchestra pit still.
Yes, and
Okay,
so
so then where? Because so the orchestra pit is typically lower than the stage.
that's the whole idea, Nick, and that's why
So wait,
most
where? So what else would have been 20 feet further below the orchestra pit?
well, that's the thing is that if I am not mistaken, that at this particular venue, and I think many other venues, they can push the orchestra pit under the stage. And so
For
it's like,
storage, you mean?
right. And so
Yeah.
like it
Okay, makes
was,
sense.
so it would pull out. And so it's not, it's like bleachers, Nick. It's not going to be, there's some mechanical parts that go into a bleachers and stages.
So you were so okay. So even though you were in the
This is
orchestra
unbelievable.
pit, you were on a tiered set of bleachers that
No, no,
was
no, no. I'm saying that a bleacher mechanism is what's used to pull it back and forth, and so you have to have some sort of a crawl space
yeah.
to do that, and so it happens to be 20 feet.
So the floor of where the orchestra pit is, like where the orchestra would actually be positioned, is that 20 feet below the stage?
No, no, I'm saying that there's 20 feet under the stage,
So
like
there's like a
clearance for
so
for
there's
the
like a
stage pushed under
space.
the stage.
So there's a space there where no one actually is occupying during the show.
Well, that wasn't quite true because somebody was down there who was able to retrieve my phone for me and bring
Okay,
it back
so
up.
probably an operations employee of some sort.
Well, yes, but all I can say
Okay.
is my original, like back to my original statement that I still contest that the venue neglected me by not having a net between the stage and the orchestra pit so that items that would
Is
okay, so I'm not as worried about
it
was that.
so where your phone I guess let me ask this question. What did you just mishandle your phone and it fell into
No,
that?
this is not quite what happened. I did
Okay.
not. That's not quite what happened.
Okay. All right. Then explain that part.
It was definitely a freak accident, but
Okay.
also though partially the venue's fault because they did not tell us about any COVID protocols before the show.
Okay. So what's the connection of COVID protocol to
So
you
so
having your
what
phone fall?
happened, Nick? Oh, bah humbug, Nick. So now all I can say, Nick, is that what happened is that after the show began, we were told that the the performers have requested that the front row of the orchestra pit all wear their mask. And so, well, what
Meaning the
happened?
front row, meaning the audience, the first row of
Yes,
audience. Okay. All
yes.
right.
And so what happened is that I'm not one to violate the rules, although I will say that definitely were people there who, as soon as they thought nobody was looking,
Yeah, well,
like
that's anywhere.
definitely had some privilege in feeling like they were allowed to
Yeah.
take off
Yeah.
their mask when they shouldn't have, right? But
Okay.
all I can say is that with this whole thing, Nick, that oh boy, right? The struggle is real here. So all I can say is that at at the intermission, I took off my mask to finish drinking my Diet Coke and eating some almonds, right? I mean, like any person who needs to eat.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
don't have
pretty
a
standard
yeah, I
so
don't have a
far.
mask on while I'm eating
Yep.
usually.
Okay.
And so what happened is that right before the intermission, the lady came up behind me.
Who's the
Well,
late? What do you mean by this? Another audience member?
no, the security or the
Usher.
crew
Usher.
reminding like the ushers. I don't know,
Okay.
like not really ushers because
Oh, okay. A part of the event staff.
well, I wouldn't consider them ushers because we have 5 people tell us five tried to take us to
All right.
five
Let's
different
just call the person
doors. And
event
then
staff and leave it at that.
and then when we tried to go down to the pit and then we knew where our seats were, like in the pit that it's pretty secure. You even had a wristband on, right?
Okay.
And so then what happened is that unbelievable. I don't know what the struggle is real here. I don't know
It
why
seems
is this.
fine on my end. I
Oh
don't
no, I
know.
because there's something weird going on here, Nick. The
Hmm.
struggle is that real.
Well, it's
But
not
all I
very
can
real for me,
say
but all right.
is that after all of this, rigmarole, like they actually tried to seat us in the wrong seats.
All right, John, you've deviated
But
from the original story
but
here. Let's
well,
stick
I
to
mean,
one at a time.
well, the struggle is real, Nick. So
So back to
now,
how your
well,
phone fell.
no, because I'm setting the stage. Get it? Setting the stage, Nick. And so, pun
You've set
intended
enough
there.
stage. I think people just want to
And
hear about how
so,
your phone actually fell.
well, I don't think they can see it, Nick, because even if I have video recording of it, I can't show it because my phone is broken.
That's why I said people want to hear.
But anyway, Nick, all I can say is that this lady who was working for the venue came up behind me. Like it was more of kind of like a little tap on the shoulder, but because I had my almonds in one hand, my program, my phone. I had like my mask on a lanyard so I wouldn't drop it. And I was talking to Matt all at the same time. When the lady tapped me on the shoulder, she's like, well, on, mask on. Then, and I know she didn't mean any harm, but then when I looked this way, and then I because I didn't know who was tapping me, and then I was like, okay, mask on. So I reached up with this hand, and then when I did that, the phone went flying out the other hand.
Okay, so you more or less what it sounds is you were caught off guard by the situation, which I mean, that's fair. That's,
Yeah,
I mean,
especially like when,
yeah.
given that the whole COVID situation is going on anyway, somebody else touching me in public like that is inappropriate to begin with.
All right,
So,
I fair. I'm
for
sure the
me to
person could have. I'm sure the individual could have just verbally
yeah, like
gained
it
your
could have been
attention.
a little bit different. Like if it weren't for the because of course, like I said, I have no issue with the like putting on the mask because as soon as I heard mask on, like I reached for my mask with
Yeah.
one hand and then the phone went flying out the other.
Yeah. So
And
you were kind of caught off guard with the situation, and in the heat of the moment, you were trying to do too many things at one time. to
which
appease the situation. And
right, and then the phone went straight. Now
yeah,
here's where I'm really pissed,
all
because
right.
even though I'm pissed at the couple next to us, older couple who refused to wear the mask at most of the show anyway, I'm still pissed at this part that the old guy had a cane. What if that cane would have made the 20-foot drop? I would have felt very bad for that guy that he wouldn't have a working cane to get home.
Well, the good news is I'm sure the cane would have been returned in the same method that your phone was returned. So I mean, I know that that's like perfect
Well,
hindsight now, knowing what you know. But in the moment, okay, I can see, if anybody's personal belonging had fallen through and fell the same place, that in the
but you
moment,
get what you
yes,
get where I'm going with this, right, Nick? That I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
like I'm not just worried about my phone. I'm worried about the fact that this venue has
Well,
no.
let me ask this, John. Was where your phone and where your phone, went through, passed down, and fell, was it a large enough opening that a person could have
No,
gone through?
it was literally like a. You see this wrist brace here,
Yeah.
Nick? It was a hole about the width of the wrist brace.
Okay. So a small opening, all things considered, but obviously large enough that small items can make their way through as they did.
Yeah, a small item like my phone.
Okay.
And so I just think that they need to put a net down at the like they even had the what do you call them, like the bungee cords there for a net to be put in place. They just
Oh,
neglected to have the net there that night.
well,
So
I guess what can I tell you?
this makes it all the worst, right? And
Yeah.
wouldn't you say that that makes it even worse? Like knowing that this could have been prevented, like the death of my phone could have been prevented, and therefore, like we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now.
Yeah. And I suppose, the personal, maybe secondary lesson to learn is to not try to have too many things going in your hands at one time.
Well, no, I think the lesson is like for the venue, like don't like keep your hands to yourself. Like, well, this goes for the general public. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Like,
again,
I don't know where your hands have been.
without knowing, right, and I don't at all disagree with that, but for your own personal learning moment, I was not there to see how many personal items you were trying to juggle in your hands simultaneously to be able to say, well, you were kind of
Well, okay,
overburdening yourself.
I will say this, Nick. If they wouldn't, if they would have given us a nice area to at least be able to stand or sit in the lobby to eat our food before the show began, I wouldn't have had any food or drink in there to begin with.
Well,
But they
I
said
guess,
like take all your food and drink to your seat.
I mean, me personally, when I was this in the evening?
Yes, but I will preface this with Matt and I walked around for 2.5 hours looking for a restaurant that didn't have a wait or would take us without reservations.
What time was the show?
The show was at 8 p.m. So we got
Okay.
downtown with plenty of time to, if it weren't packed, to still. Do you see what I mean, Nick?
Well, I think you have to kind of know, though. I mean, this isn't your first rodeo going out on a weekend, that the weekend before a holiday, that there's going to be shows and things going on in the interior of a city. And then,
Well,
you
but
should expect there to be hangups and delays with trying to get in someplace to eat.
no, I understand that. I'm not upset with that. I'm upset with the venue because this could have been preventable. But
Well, it could have also been preventable if you had a little more foresight and thought
well,
what was going to be the situation trying to eat
oh
beforehand.
no,
So
but that's
you have to be
exactly
eating
why
at the
I
show.
that's exactly why I look for places that we could go in advance and it just didn't work out that we were able to get advanced reservations. So we took our chances, and it didn't.
Well, okay,
work
so you
out.
took your chances and they didn't
But
work
I
out.
would
So
say though
that's part of
that,
the gamble in it.
yeah, but part of the gamble was that also that we would be able to have food at the venue, which yeah, we did, but you know what I can say, that quite frankly, the Fox Theater can just go out of business.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that's going to happen because of this, but
Well, you know what, Fox Theater, you know what? You can make it all better by becoming a sponsor of the show.
so basically, money does cure all.
Well, no, but it will cure that problem.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to
So,
know that every person does have a price, including you.
yeah, and this is my price. So I'm naming it
Okay.
right now, Fox Theater.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
aren't you impressed?
I'll be impressed when you actually get one of these entities to sponsor,
Really?
and I'll be impressed.
I mean,
But
what can I say, Nick?
saying that you want something
I
to happen, that doesn't impress me.
I think you have too many complaints, Nick. But
Okay.
you know what it's time
Except for
for,
the
Nick?
fact that you just went on a 20-minute rant about something
Well, Nick,
kind of counterintuitive there.
well, Nick, you know what? All I can say is it's time for the opening
Oh,
credits.
good.
Nick.
I need it.
Aren't you ready for this?
I've been ready the whole time.
Have you really been ready the whole time?
Yes.
I'm not so sure,
Okay.
but that's okay, Nick.
All right.
What a time to be alive. Here's
Always.
the opening credits.
Every time.
National Sangria Day.
Oh, what a day.
Doesn't that look good?
I'm not a huge fan.
Welcome to Funniest Part of My Name, a podcast about math and Korean culture. For information about our podcast, please visit our new website at www.funnypodcastdetroit.com.
And now here are your hosts, 프로페서 승찬 and 닉 하하.
Oh yeah.
Well, Nick,
Yes.
I will say that I don't always like fruits and vegetables, but I do in sangria.
Yeah. Well, you can douse anything in some booze and make it enjoyable.
And I will say that I have my favorite sangria of all time. Have I
Okay.
ever told you this story, Nick?
Story of what?
My favorite sangria of all time.
Oh no.
See, okay, let me tell you the exact name of the restaurant because I have it at my fingertips right here, and I
All
don't
right.
want to misquote the restaurant name.
Right.
And it is a, where is it? Because it's a diner. Oh, okay. So when I was in New York City, I went to, and I don't even remember when this was. I think it was in 2018. So, and I have the exact date that I went to this place.
All
And
right.
so, but the problem is that with everything going on, I'm not actually sure if they're still open. Let me
I'm sure
see.
you can do a quick Google search.
Yeah, so the place is still open 24 hours a day right now.
Wow. How about that?
So Malibu Diner.
Man, it's hard to find restaurants that are open 24 hours a week these days.
Yeah, so
Malibu Diner, you said?
yes, Malibu
Oh, it's
Diner.
a diner. Okay,
on,
so that makes sense. If it's a diner in New York, that makes
yeah,
sense.
Malibu Diner on West 23rd in New York City. All right,
West 23rd. Okay.
So their happy hour special is buy 2 drinks, get 1 free.
Okay.
And so I got the sangria, and and I will tell you that they said it was the best sangria in New York City. And well, all I can say is that they said it was house made. Well, I saw them like talking to each other and jibber jabbing and realizing, well, we really don't have any sangria, but somehow it's on special. And so what they did was they just threw some alcohol and fruit together and topped it with a little extra alcohol for the inconvenience of not having sangria when they said they did. And it was some of the best sangria I've ever had in my life.
Even though it probably really wasn't sangria.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
But
So I wonder though, if you go, so it sounds like the concoction they made was very off the cuff. So I wonder if you go back there and order it again, is it going to be one, the same, and two, is it going to be as good?
so, Nick, I will say that I did not know that it was happy hour until after my second drink when
Okay.
I had said I would like the bill, and they said, you don't want your free drink. So I would say, Nick, that if you get three of them, it doesn't matter what it is. You won't care what it tastes like after three drinks.
Okay.
So I think that the buy two, get one free happy hour special at Malibu Diner on West 23rd in New York is a good deal.
Okay.
That's my tip.
All right.
Isn't that great?
I'm sure.
So now, Nick, I did tell you before the show that I would have a special holiday cocktail recipe for the audience today.
I don't think you told me that, but nonetheless, let's do it.
So I have my ice shaker here,
Okay.
and I would show you what the finished product looks like, but it's what I've been sipping the whole show so far. So I
Okay.
did make some in advance to make sure that it was going to be like the right mixture, and I wouldn't make some awful looking face right on the show.
Okay.
So then what you're going to do now, you know, I like local things, right, Nick?
I do know that.
Okay, so this is Foggy Mountain salted caramel flavored whiskey from Boynes Falls, Michigan.
All right.
So I do know that this was inspired by some people I know who tried this with me and said it's too sweet on its own. It should have a little bit of cream in it. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do, and by the way, this, I don't think anyone can really see the engraving.
No,
but-
it's too much
but-
glare.
But Matt actually got this for me a couple of years ago, and the engraving says Sungchan is a party animal.
That's pretty accurate. So
Well,
that's a
I
good
I'm
find.
not so sure that's accurate, but
I know.
that's okay.
I believe it is. To me, it is.
so I'm giving myself a pour right here of this Boyne Falls, Michigan, Foggy Mountain
John, no one can see
Salted
what you're doing.
caramel. Well, you know what, Nick? That's okay.
I think you should angle the camera down. People want to see.
Well, no, because they don't want to see the fact that I had a little issue with the condensation. So you know,
Oh,
you can verify that everything got in here, right?
Yep, it looks like it.
And so then there's that, and then
So wait, in there right now is just the whiskey and ice. Correct?
yes, that is true.
All right.
And now I have
Oh, some
Bailey's.
Baileys. Okay.
And that's because, again, these people told me that some cream would go well with the caramel.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, this seems like a nice après dinner cocktail
So there we have
to
that.
sip around a wood burning fireplace.
And then
when
just
The holiday
to
season is upon
Yeah.
us.
and then just to make sure that it is sort of
This seems like the
enjoy
kind of cocktail, John, that I would want to have in the evening, like
around the
after
holiday season, right?
around the holidays, or similarly, like in the evenings if I'm like on a ski trip, like at the lodge at night.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why I think like being from Boynes Fall, Michigan,
Yeah,
like the
yeah. No, I think
whiskey,
it's a
and then
good
we have the
winter
Baileys, and
season
so now like
evening drink.
I just
What
have
is it?
a
Oh,
couple of half and half.
why are you putting those in when you can just put a little more Baileys in? That
Well,
seems redundant.
because Nick, I did say that I tried this before the show,
Okay.
and the whiskey with the Bailey's combination by itself was a little bit how do I say it just it will hit you hard. It will give you the burn.
Oh, so you're adding the half and half to sort of cut the alcohol a little bit, because
Yeah.
adding more Baileys is obviously adding more alcohol
Yeah.
too.
And then
Okay.
I give it a little bit of a shake here.
Okay. All right. So in there, we have ice, obviously, one shot of the whiskey. How much of the Baileys?
Well, the one shot of Bailey's too. The same
And
amount,
then
equal.
did you put both of those half and halves?
Yep, 2 half and halves.
Okay.
So I would say that, like I happen to buy the half and halves by those types by the pack just on a regular basis.
Do you not use half and half fast enough that you don't just buy a small carton?
Exactly.
Okay.
So since they're shelf stable, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is that I decided to, strain it this time rather than just serve it on the rocks, but that's okay. And so, this is actually a tumbler, but it is festive. 'Tis the season.
Yes. Very good.
And so let's enjoy the.
So wait,
fruits of our labor.
is it on ice or is it just neat right now?
Just neat right now because
Okay.
I had it, I had the first one on ice, but
Okay.
delicious.
It does sound good.
Absolutely delicious. Now,
Sounds like a little too much dairy for me personally, but it
now
sounds good.
I will say that I would be all for, now, depending on how risky everyone wants to get, right? I would be all for putting a Maxime coffee packet in instead, or in addition to, like
And
to give it
serving
that cream and
It's-
coffee flavor.
And serving it warm or cold? Still cold?
Still cold.
Okay.
I really don't see this being a warm drink.
Oh, I could. No, I could definitely see taking what you made and like putting a little bit in some coffee, like some regular hot coffee as the creamer.
Okay, maybe because it's like a caramel and
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost
and
just
the
like,
alcohol content is already cut down with the extra cream.
yeah.
Okay, I
Or-
can.
John,
I can do that.
what about if you put like
Tis the season.
what if you put a shot of the mixed beverage into like a cup of hot chocolate and you had like a spiked
Well,
hot
you know
chocolate?
what, Nick? I thought about mixing some hot chocolate mix in the drink.
But I think you
but-
need to heat it up though, because the hot chocolate mix wouldn't dissolve as well as you want.
No, this will be more like how you have a cinnamon like sprinkle garnish on the top.
What do you mean
Just
on
like
the top?
a-
Just a little cinnamon
Yeah,
sprinkle
just
on
a
it?
little bit cinnamon
Oh.
sprinkle, like sprinkle a little bit of hot cocoa
John.
powder
Ooh,
on the top.
So what if you served it in a martini glass and then on the rim of the glass you put sugar, cinnamon, and some of the hot chocolate mix?
Well, yeah, but that's 'tis the season, Nick.
Yeah.
So, I introduced the audience to a great new recipe.
I think you did. What do you call it?
Well, Nick, I will say that I don't have a name for it yet, but if I
Okay.
had to name it myself, I would call it well, I don't know why this mountain is foggy.
That's not a very catchy name.
Well, but
I think you can do better.
like it's Foggy Mountain, and
Yeah, but I no.
I don't know
think
why,
that's
but I will say that I have my banana here, Nick,
okay.
and as a special holiday treat to myself. Well, not to myself, but in my sort of Michigan product placement. Have you heard of Great Lakes Potato Chip Company before?
Yeah.
Have you had them? Do you like them?
I've had them before. I haven't had them recently enough or often enough to remember if I do or not.
Yeah, so they're from Traverse City, Michigan.
Okay.
And so I got some of these barbecue chips here. So let me see here. Oh my. Well, all I can say is if you like a little bit of a kick to your barbecue chip, this will give it to you.
Oh, good. It's a little spicy. What you're saying?
Yeah, a little spicy
Okay.
and not like too spicy, but not a honey barbecue either.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that sounds good. What do they call that? It's just regular barbecue is the description,
Yeah, barbecue. Yep.
but it has a little bit of a charge to it.
Yes, but I
Okay.
will
All
say
right. It's a nice
that
addition.
that it has a really nice crunch to it, and I like it better than like what's the kettle chip company that?
Oh,
it's-
are they kettle chips?
Yes, these are kettle
Okay,
cooked
all right,
chips,
all right.
but I will say that this is why I don't feel guilty for abandoning Better Made for these, because
Does Better Made make kettle chips?
I do think that they do, but that's not, of course, what they are known for, right?
Right. Right.
And so if they do, yeah, they do have some kettle made chips, but I really, you know what? I will say that their Better Made original probably is not my favorite. So
Originally.
my
Okay.
favorite
Mhm.
is probably a very big toss up. I know that anyone from Michigan will hate me for this, because I know that if you're a true Michigander, that it has to be, well, what do you think is the flavor, Nick?
The flavor of
Of like the Better Made flavor of chip that proves that if it's your favorite, that you're a Michigander.
the spicy barbecue, or I've turned that's not is it spicy or what they have a barbecue that's intentionally spicy and it's different than the regular barbecue. I can't remember.
Right, but that's actually not the one.
That's not it. Okay. All right.
No, it's actually it is actually the sweet barbecue. Oh my.
Oh, the sweet.
Well, yeah, but like,
They're okay. I mean, but I prefer, as you described with these, I like a little bit of zip to
right,
mine.
but the sweet barbecue, if you see that bag of Better Made at your picnic, I'm telling you that like gold and swirl on the front.
Oh
of the
no, I know
bag,
exactly. Yeah, I know exactly
like
which
you
one.
know that
It's like the only variety they make, I think, that has like a multi-tone colored bag. The rest of them are pretty single color.
The honey barbecue does also.
There's a honey barbecue and a sweet barbecue.
Yeah, and a regular barbecue and the hot barbecue.
Yeah, I know. What's the difference between sweet barbecue and honey barbecue?
So the sweet barbecue that's why if you're a Michigander, you know that's the best, better made flavor because
It seems like they're probably the same thing.
no, they're absolutely not.
Clearly they're not because they make two different ones. But
That's the thing is that that particular flavor of barbecue chip, no other company has.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the real sugary barbecue ones anyways. I prefer a little more savory.
I wouldn't say that it's a sugary barbecue.
In all relativity,
and actually, I think that they actually have another. I think there actually might be a fifth barbecue out because besides the hot barbecue, there's also a sweet heat barbecue.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what that actually means.
Well, it's probably the sweet barbecue mixed with the hot barbecue seasoning. That's my guess.
I have no idea.
I don't either, but that's my estimation.
They're 1, 2, 3, and yeah, there's several varieties of barbecue.
I mean, I still like salt and vinegar better than barbecue in any fashion. So,
well, you have too many complaints, Nick.
Okay,
but you know what, Nick? I think that the AV team might be ready for a break here.
Are we doing trivia afterward, or what's coming up?
Well, Nick, yes. There will always be trivia, and there will be a special surprise during trivia tonight, Nick.
Oh, I love surprises.
So let's see. So now, you know what, yes. Nick? I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. We'll just go to the break, and then we'll do trivia.
I think you'll enjoy this break, Nick.
I hope so.
Say. It's National Caroling Day, Nick.
Well, I prefer that we hear the people caroling as opposed to just this.
Oh no, they're not gonna give it music. They're not gonna do it for free.
Is somebody paying them for this?
Well, I mean,
actually, better yet, John, can you sing some carols for us?
Enough enough.
Will you sing some carols for us?
Now, I will say that I want to apologize to our loyal listener, Rachel, for yet again another delay in your prizes being sent.
Well, in your defense though, John, you're not the only holdup because the post office has declared that they are experiencing intentional delays in shipping times because of their new mailing schedules and regimens.
I will say that I want to now, if just as extra encouragement to all of our audience to actually, follow along with us, and especially for our holiday special on the 23rd, right, Nick? There will be a special opportunity for all of the audience who listens and watches the show to win special prizes, right?
Well, I mean, it's Christmas, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and so since I'm in such a giving mood, and I will say though, the O geometry cards have arrived.
Oh, there they are. Yes.
Yeah, they actually did arrive, and Good. As promised, Rachel will be getting one of these, and then also, and these are. Now, I'm telling you, I got everything together all at once, but I will say that here's the cactus candy. This is sort of like a year in review of all the things we've given away, right?
It is.
Yeah, and then I will say that this here is a bookmark and a Detroit card, and then a Christmas postcard,
Huh?
and a whole bunch of stickers. But I will say, and and some socks.
I like the socks.
And
I'm a big fan of the socks.
yeah, and a whole bunch of stickers, along with a few free extra ones I actually really enjoyed this year, like this one that says Wisconsin on it. I have no idea why I enjoyed that, but I just liked the way that looked.
Wait, what? It's the Wisconsin Badger mascot with the
I
Grateful
don't-
Dead teddy
I
bears.
don't know. I'm just saying that I
That's a
like the
good-
way that looks. So
wow,
I
that's
really
really
got one in there for you
combination.
as an extra sticker, Rachel. I hope that when it gets to you that you have a
Wow,
special place for it.
it deserves a special place for
Yeah, it
sure.
really does, doesn't it, Nick?
Yeah, that
Yep.
It better not be
Oh.
a generic landing spot.
And the Christmas ornament will be in the package as well, along with a fanny pack. Well,
Wait, do you have one on hand yet to show?
Nick, the unfortunate part is you talked about the shipping delays yourself, and so my real issue is I don't think that we want to sell a subpar product on the website.
I agree.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I want to see it for myself first.
Oh, that's reasonable. You know, as the effective promoter of it, you want to make sure the merchandise is of the quality standard
Yep,
that
I'll
you
drink to
hold.
that, Nick.
That's fair. Yep, that's
So-
supplier quality engineering is the
Yeah, exactly.
business term
So,
for that
you
activity.
know what? You know what, Nick?
Yeah.
So, tonight's prize for the trivia. All right, this is a good prize, Nick.
Okay.
The prize, the listener prize, will be naming rights to the cocktail I made on the show tonight. And that's pretty.
That's a good
right?
prize. Yeah.
Yeah. So naming rights to the cocktail. So I think that's a wonderful prize, and your name will go down in history if that's what you want. Maybe you don't want that, but maybe you do. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Now, if somebody named the drink after corned beef, I would be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I think
would,
that doesn't
because
make a lot of
I
sense.
would think that it wouldn't make much sense, but
No.
but I would also say that the person wouldn't be wrong because I like beef that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, wait.
where
Are you staking claim for developing this beverage? Are you taking that credit?
well, yes, but
Okay.
but I'm
Fine.
giving away the naming rights.
Right. No, I understand how this goes. Okay.
Yep, because I don't think that anyone else has actually had this particular combination ever.
Are you going to trademark it or patent it or copyright it or protect it somehow?
Well, Nick, as a holiday gift to the world, you can use the recipe royalty free.
Here's another interesting question. If someone wants to make this beverage but chooses a different whiskey and or a different brand of Irish cream, does it then still take on the same?
No, because then it's fake news.
Okay. No, just want. Okay. So it is very dependent on the brand of alcohol
It
going in.
absolutely is.
Okay.
This is
all right.
like this would be like saying that you can make a Kentucky bourbon in Michigan,
Right. Okay. That's fair.
or you can make champagne outside of Champagne.
Okay. Well, okay. So I think that rule should very much hold for the whiskey, although I don't know if it should necessarily be as stringent for the Irish cream, though.
I think that it should be,
Okay.
but I think that you can be lenient on the half and half.
Well, yeah, because that, I mean, you didn't specify a brand on the half and half, so.
Well, yeah,
that's-
because but by the way, the brand I did use is International Delight, but I will say that normally I used Mary Moo's.
All right.
Right, just that Mary Moo's, if you want to sponsor the show, just
I
reach
mean,
out to
my
us.
preference personally would be to just get it fresh and use the carton and just pour shots of it as opposed to using the little
You know what?
single serve
This
cups. But
comes from everyone. This comes from somebody who is a self-proclaimed lactose intolerant person.
yeah, I mean, what does that have to do with this?
That you really don't know your creamers.
I'm just saying that I prefer, if I'm going to be using any kind of coffee creamer, that I use it that refrigerated version that
Nick,
comes
like
out of a carton, because there's
you
additives in the little single serve ones in order to make it.
You know
last at
what?
room temperature.
Have you heard of brain fog, Nick?
Yeah.
This seems like what you have now, Nick, except it's the Michigan fog.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Trivia time.
So you know what, Nick?
Yeah.
I think that I did say that there were some exciting stories that I wanted to mention today. And so now, did you hear? And we haven't done any news from Korea in a while, but there were a couple that I was brought to attention about like a little while ago. Actually, when I say a little while ago, I mean within the last few days. But
Okay.
did you know that this is a headline? And just so that you don't think it's you might think it's not a reputable source, but it's from the New York Post. Would you say that that's a reputable source?
New York Post. Yeah. Grand scheme
Really?
of things. Yeah, it's not the
I-
most reputable, but it's not the worst.
What do you mean not the worst? I mean, what have you seen anything bad in there?
I don't read the New York Post often enough to have much more of an opinion.
Oh, well, before I get to that, I did want to. Now, I'm only doing this because I ran out of my drink.
Okay.
I
You can make more. Don't you have the
well,
ingredients right
yes, but we only have a few minutes left, Nick, and so
there? Okay.
I brought another drink just in case I ran out. So,
Oh, what
have
is
you heard
this?
of pineapple?
No. But please do explain.
So this is from Griffin Claw in Birmingham. Do you
All
know
right.
Griffin Claw?
Yeah.
All right. So they have a line of ciders now called pineapple ciders that are made with Michigan apples.
Okay.
And this particular one happens to be mixed with pineapple juice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So it's a hard cider mixed with pineapple juice.
That
I
sounds
will
good.
probably guarantee you 100% that the pineapple juice is not made from Michigan pineapples.
Yes, I will join you in that position.
But let's try this. Oh my.
Oh, that doesn't look like a face of contentment.
Oh my. Happy holidays to me, I guess.
Wow.
Oh, this is like the equivalent of coal in my stocking.
Wow.
It's that bad.
You want to explain the
Oh my. Oh. I'd say, well, don't drink this
as you keep drinking it.
Well, yeah, because I can't really explain what's so bad about it.
I mean, is it really sour, or I mean, is it real sweet? Give us some semblance of a description.
Well, you know what? It tastes like a sour seltzer.
Oh, no, I kind of like those though.
Yeah, but when you're expecting a cider and you get a seltzery taste
But
instead,
not all hard cider is really sweet. A lot of it is more on the sour side, which, to be honest, I kind of like the more sour ones better personally.
this is unbelievable.
All right, I think we're running
can't-
out of time here, and we need to get some trivia.
I can't believe this. I really I can't believe this at all, Nick. But
Okay, well, I think let's do a little trivia in here.
well, Nick, yes,
We're
you have a
running
lot
short
of
on time.
complaints as usual, and
Yeah,
you
well,
didn't come
what else is
prepared
new?
with sangria. So
No, you
now
didn't really give me enough advance notice, but whatever.
you don't have the ingredients to whip a sangria together at home, Nick.
No.
This is unbelievable. All right.
Oh well, based on the recipe that was used at that place in New York City. All right, I do.
See, Nick, I could have told you that.
Well, why didn't you tell me that before the show started? Then I could have taken care of it.
You know what? I just thought that you would have come prepared with every possible scenario.
No, I am not as good as that as you are.
So, Nick,
My MacGyver skills are not nearly what yours are.
now back to the article. From the New York Post, and the trivia will be regarding the article.
Okay.
So now it says the headline is South Korean dairy giant apologizes for creepy milk ad depicting women as cows. So what is your reaction to that headline, Nick?
I don't know. I need to see the promotional material in order to have any kind of formulated opinion.
So all I can say is that it's pretty much when it's women doing yoga in a field, and then the women, I guess I haven't seen the whole ad, and I don't want to.
Is this a video ad or a print ad?
A video ad, and I don't really want to watch it, but the ad, in the ad, a man is, and this is from the New York Post description, but a man is seen walking through the countryside with a camera and hiding in a bush. And so pretty much what it is that it's more of a voyeuristic, like the cameraman in the field, and then there's some issues with the cameraman being a peeper in the field with the women doing yoga, and then the voiceover says, we finally managed to capture them on camera in a place of pristine cleanliness. And then the guy in the ad on the camera steps on a twig, startles the women, and then it ends with all the women turning into cows.
I don't understand the logic behind it whatsoever. So I'm left in a state of confusion more than anything.
Well, yes, but I think that the real issue is that it is depicting women as cows is an issue.
Okay. I again, John, without seeing it, I don't have a solid opinion on it.
Well, Nick, here's the sudden death trivia question
Okay.
for 500 Google points.
All right.
And you know what Google is now, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what milk company was responsible for this ad? Now, wait a minute, Nick. So to our live audience, now, whoever answers in the live chat, the correct answer will win tonight's listener prize. So, yes, and Rachel, you are right. They pulled the ad. So somebody does know, Nick. And I expect one of our listeners will win the prize tonight.
So the kind of amusing part is like I'm thinking here of like dairy brand, like milk brands or dairy. So I think about when I go to the grocery store, and I don't buy regular milk, but looking at the coolers though, where the milk is, it almost every store you go, it's store brand milk. And I mean, there's other like sometimes like some of the organic milk or the lactose free milks.
Okay, but
different brands, but like
so
standard milk, your whole milk 1-2% skim. It's typically all branded of that store.
No,
I'm typically
no, because you haven't heard of like Dean's.
No, I have.
Dean's was
when I think about
dairy
like
beforehand, but
when I think about like the non-milk dairy products like sour cream or cottage cheese, things like that I can name other brands. Like Daisy is popular in the cottage cheese and sour cream area, and I can name some of the like non-standard milk, like the lactose-free milk and some of those.
Yeah, but there's like the Horizons organic milk,
right, like the kind of like premium or different.
Yeah, I know of Dean's
Organic
milk,
Valley,
Calder Dairy, local brands that are non-store brands.
Right, but a lot of times you can't get those at a big box store.
Yeah,
you either have to order it direct from the dairy, or they'll be at like select non-big box.
Yes, stores. But I will say that I can name milk brands that are, like what, Prairie Farms.
Oh yeah, okay, there's one. Yeah, but other than that though, I mean, they make kind of like your pretty standard run of the mill milk.
Yeah, but I did already name Dean's, right? You've heard of Dean's, right? And
yeah, I don't know if that's like available at most. I don't buy regular milk, so
Lactaid.
Yeah, again, but that's kind of a specialty milk. That's not
but
standard
it is
offering.
A milk that you would see in and you already mentioned Prairie Farms, Organic Valley, and some stores, like I think Kroger has it. I usually shop at Meyer, but they have Borden.
Not familiar with. Oh, maybe
it's what, maybe like Borden. I only know that it's in like actually now I see it, like it looks like that I might only know about Borden because one of the states that they have it in is Ohio.
Okay.
And Kroger is found in Ohio, so it makes sense.
Yep.
So anyway, Nick, what is your guess?
So I mean, this ad is out there, so I have no idea what dairy brands are. Horizon. I don't.
So Nick. So I will say, since by the way, you should know your Korean milk brands because I don't
even know American ones.
Well, I will say that I did actually find some like Korean milk at H Mart, but not the H Mart in Michigan, the H Mart in Arizona. But anyway, and it was, oh my, some of the best milk I've had in quite some time, since I've been in Korea. But anyway,
Okay.
but now, all right. So Nick, just to give you a reasonable advantage,
Okay.
I'm going to name some South Korean milk brands so that you actually might have a chance.
All right.
So Namyong Good Taste Milk, Mayo Milk Original, Mayo Digestive Milk, Seoul Stock Farm Fresh Milk, Seoul Milk, Seoul Low Fat Milk, Mayo Milk Low Fat Milk, Mayo Sunga Organic Farm Milk, Private Brand of Discount Store Milk, Busan Milk, Bingray Good Morning Milk, and Namyong Einstein Milk. So those are some of the most used milk brands in South Korea as of June 2021. And one of the correct answers is on the list.
All right.
What is your guess, Nick?
Soul milk, because that's what I want to be the answer.
So Nick, I'm going to actually give you the only negative 250 Google points instead of negative 500 Google points, because on a technicality, as one of our listeners and audience members has already pointed out, that Seoul milk would have been an acceptable answer, Nick, except that its parent company is actually Seoul Dairy Cooperative.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So I'm only giving you half off.
Oh, all right. Well,
So you still lost, Nick.
what else is new?
What else is new?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
this is unbelievable, Nick.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're running a little behind schedule here, so I think
That
it's
is
time
true,
to-
Nick, but you were running behind. So
That's true. Not this far behind, but you're right.
So,
You are
Nick,
right. All right.
before we get to our closing music today and closing credits, now, you know what, Nick? I will
Yes.
say that this is one time this year that I am not going to ask you for the final joke of the week,
Oh.
because we have our special episode on December 23rd.
Yes. And it will be a good one.
Yeah, it will be a good one.
Okay.
I agree with that. So, Nick,
Yes.
what is your final joke of the show to leave the audience with until December 23rd when they can
yes.
get more?
Clever catch here. Yes. All right. John, do you know why colorblind people always get into poor relationships?
Well, you know what, Nick, I'm colorblind, and I'm pretty sure that no matter what you say, that I still won't get your joke.
You know, they have a hard time deciphering red flags.
Yeah, I'm colorblind, Nick, and all I can say is, color blindness is nothing to joke about, Nick.
I guess not.
The struggle is real. What a time to be alive, everyone.
Yes, it is.
Yep. See ya for our next show.
Yes. Happy
And
holidays.
you know what, Nick? I
Happy
think that,
holidays, John, right?
No. It's ho, ho, ho. I think you got it wrong.
But
Nick.
how you pronounce holiday? It's more like holiday, not ho holiday.
Well, it depends on if you're Catholic or not, Nick. See,
that's
Nick,
fair.
I have a good one there. What a time.
Yeah, you did. All right.
Isn't this nice?
watching funniest part of your name. Don't forget to visit our new website at www.funnypodcastdetroit.com. We'll see you back here next Monday at 10 p.m. for an all-new episode.